on the mission. You guys not going to believe it, but we're going to buy more chickens. We're not sure if both girls, so we want to be sure that at least we have 2 girls. And we are just done with some grocery shopping because things are getting a little intense here in the store. Eggs were gone, toilet paper is gone, so we thought better if we stock up with some items. We're heading to buy some chickens now. So it looks like it's become a Sunday thing for us to buy chickens. And this time we got some black stripe. What was the kind? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Stripy ones. Okay, don't be afraid. We will be home soon. Okay. Oh, and we also got some organic
chicken feed
for them. So it's much better than the other one.
Ooh, put them inside this.
How are the 2 big ones scared the smaller one?
The small one is just scaring the 2 bigger one. Okay, so we need to buy a bigger box now. So yeah, it's my name, Monty. That's the official name. So I've been putting away and I'm trying to come up with the best solution to store all the food that are fresh item, like potato, sweet potato and onion and this type of things. And since we don't have a pantry, so we are lacking the aspect of having a dark space to store the items. Dry and cold place would be the best for the foods, because if they exposed to the lights, they losing nutrition, and also like with the potato, is just mother nature, they just trying to grow. Potato is a very tricky food. It needs to be really ripe, so that way it's easy to digest. So if you see a green potato in the store, I buy them when it's nice golden yellow. However, I don't know if you guys know that it can turn back to green if it's exposed to the light. So that's why I'm wrapping them in the paper, because one, it's the light. The other one is that it's gonna be dry that way, because as soon as they touch each other, they can get some moist. So they start to develop these little itty bitty things that I have no idea how to call it in English. Maybe it's a sprout, or I'm not sure how do you call it in English, but you know what I'm talking about. I wrapped everything into individually in this paper, and this paper is from Home Depot, and it's at the section where they're keeping all the painting supplies, because this is supposed to go on some kind of gadget, and you just kind of put it around the window or on the edges so you can paint easily. But I find that this is a perfect size for that. And the size that is a little bit bigger, I like to use wrapping present in there. It's incredibly cheap and very inexpensive, and it's very easy to fold the paper because it's thin. And if it all goes bad, we can use this as a toilet paper. I hope not though, because it's really hard. All those items that I think we have a lot, because I did stock up on potato, and the reason for that, I make lots of gluten-free food, and this is something is a key to have a good juicy gluten-free bread, or as a matter of fact the pizza dough, which I should measure out today for you guys. So potato is something that adds this juiciness to the gluten-free bakery, and the ones that I have way too many, if I can say that, food is never too many to store that many, because I know it would go bad. I'm just going to cook them and shred and just freeze them. So that way it's gonna be in the form where I can use it right away to add to those doughs that I like to prepare. And I baked some sweet potato, and I used to cook them, but lately I'm just more into baking them. You can warm up your house if you could. I mean, right now it's pretty hot actually. Right after this snowstorm we got a pretty nice weather again, but it's very easy to take off the skin. You can just peel it and take it off. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, I'm back. So it is super easy to take off the skin that way. You just have to wait until it's cold. So I'm going to peel all of these, and I'm going to just mash them and put them into the freezer. And I'm going to have lots of recipes with these because they're just so yummy. Next, I'm gonna have these up to cook, and I'm going to finish off my yogurt. I love this so much. So I wanna quickly answer to somebody who was asking me in the comment how the apple cider can help us with our health. It has so many benefits. Okay, let's start with one. So when you drink that, and I like to put just I would say maybe it's hard to tell because I always pour it, but just one like that. So that would be like 1 teaspoon or 2 teaspoons in this bigger pitcher over here, and sometimes I just use it in a cup, but that's my daily dose for that. And it helps the body with a pH number, so that means that you're not going to be that acidic. And when you acidic, you have a tendency to grow all kinds of bad bacteria or even cancer, and all kinds of everything that is bad is growing in the environment. So that's one way. But also what I read, that if I drink that, it actually can help with stop even the runny nose. So to me it does help. It does unclog my nose, but it doesn't have a long-term effect. So once I drink it, it's good for a little while, and then I have to drink it again, but it totally works for me. And what I discovered, so guys, this is what I currently had at home: apple cider vinegar, and it has to be raw. So I really like this brand, and if it's raw, then that's the real thing. And when it says with the mother, so there's little chunky things in there, that's the stuff from the fermenting. And I just spotted, like when I was editing my previous video, that I had so many writing on it, and then it caught my eyes. Concentrate, guys, this is a real thing. I don't know why I haven't seen this before. Organic honey, organic cayenne, and organic lemon juice. So I have some vitamin D, so we take the 5,000. I have the 3,000, that is actually 2,500. This is for my younger son. We also like this product, fermented cod liver oil, because we have to know the source, make sure there's no metal in there and lead and all kinds of yucky things. This is a clean one, this is a good one. This one is a good one too. This is a lot more expensive, but for this time of the year I got this one for my younger son because I do believe we can avoid this virus, and even if we would get it, I think we would get over it fairly quickly because all the things that we do, I mean, we haven't really had a flu. We got the flu only once over the years. So, but even though if we would get it, I think that gives a good chance to fight with that easier. So this is one of them. This is a pure Icelandic cod liver oil, and it's pretty expensive. But I bought it now because my younger son was a preemie. He was born earlier, so he had some issues with his breathing, so I want to keep him the safest as possible. And to go with that, I like to use that, and the reason to use this together, so that helps to absorb all this good stuff. So basically it's just for a good absorption. And I checked with my nutritional therapist, so she said it's great. However, this one can thin the blood. So what we do, one day I give him this one and I just rotated with this one. So the next day I give him this one. So this is the two that he takes now, and the rest of the family takes this vitamin D. So here's the thing with supplements. If you have a bigger capsule, so that means like this is the same size, this capsule, 10, this one. However, it says that has 2,500 in there, and this has 500. So that means it has a lot more fillers in there that we don't want to take. So it's worth it to buy the ones that has a higher number. If you can take it, if you have little kids, it's too much. We need this much because we live in an area where we don't have a lot of sun. Today it's sunny, of course. So here's another thing. We take this one, and this is something that is coming from our nutritional therapist. I have this in my Amazon store. It's called the Saccharomyces. So it's called the Saccharomyces, and this is probiotic, but it's not the average probiotic. So it's not just like keeping your gut happy. This is fight with the bugs that goes inside in your body. And this is something I keep at home all the time. So if we have something we feel at the beginning, or if we go out somewhere where our body has to fight with something, like we went to a birthday party, a lot of people were there. I actually just had a video on that. So I give this to my kids before we go there and after we come home. So it gives a little bit of a protection. And also feedback on that, I think the only time we got the flu that was rotavirus, I think it was a heavy duty one. It was really bad. And with this stuff, with the hard part, like the vomiting and the diarrhea, we were done in 7 hours, and we were still weak after that. And the next day I was still in bed, but I was able to do a little bit of things, and I highly believe that was the thing that helped us, because that's a hardcore one. That's hard to fight for our body. So I keep this at home now just in case if I need to use that. And another thing that I want to mention, so based on the response from my friends, so some of them are freaking out if I mention, oh, we eat sugar free, like I could never do that. That doesn't mean we don't eat sweet things. We do. We absolutely do. I cannot survive without sweet things, let's face it. But once we actually get used to the other type of foods, we can reduce, and then we can introduce an other sweet things. So it doesn't mean we have to cut it off entirely. We just have to find something that is a substitute, because the white sugar basically opens the gate on your immune system. Once you consume a sugar, your immune system is open to anything that is already entered in your body or about to enter into your body. So if you can reduce or avoid eating sugar, that is a tremendous help for your immune system. Okay, my butter is dying, so stay healthy guys. See you guys soon. Bye.